Right now at 5, Seneca police ask the public for help to identify a man involved in an armed robbery.
And it's a pretty cold start to the day out there. We will be a little warmer later this afternoon. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, how cases of bird flu, some close to home, are impacting local restaurants.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday. It is, I always have to cheat here, January the 27th. Yes. I knew what month it was, thankfully. I just never remember what the day is.
Feels like it's been January for a while.
Well, that's a good thing, though, to a point.
Right,
because,
sure.
the last several years have all just kind of flown by, blended together and everything.
Yep.
So it's all right if this one slows down a bit. And I know it's really cold out there this morning, but it's going to be a little warmer as we head into the afternoon hours. But first, we got to get from here to there. And so if you're headed to school, work, or out to get some shopping done, we're going to tell you what to expect. First, with a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear this morning. And again, it is on the cold side, to say the least, out there. But otherwise, not doing too bad. Right now, 7th and Range Line, our camera up there, also looking pretty good this morning. And we'll head down to the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin. And, of course, it looks fairly good. And one last check for you. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue. Already got some folks starting their day, getting things on the way. Not bad, though. Like I said, it's going to be a little warmer. It's also going to be a bit breezier as we head in the afternoon. But take a look by noon. We're already in low mid 40s out there. We'll have some gusty winds, and I think for most of us, we're going to cap out in the mid 40s, but we could get a little warmer than that. We'll have that the westerly winds eventually turning southwest as we head overnight tonight. But otherwise, not a bad day. It's, again, cold to start, though. 17 in Joplin, 16 in Pittsburgh, and across the area, we are looking at these temperatures. We're into the teens, mid-upper teens. And we got 20 in Monette, a little warmer over there, 21 in Cassville. So kids getting on the bus, definitely want to bundle up. Low 20s, winds will be calm, skies will be clear. That bus brings them home, west winds gusting to 20, about 45, but still sunny. And again, that's where our highs are headed today, right around the mid-40s, clear skies. And we'll have those west winds occasionally gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. It's going to be breezy again tonight and tomorrow, but temperatures continue to climb. In fact, now, as we head into tomorrow, we're going above normal. We'll have details on that, plus some rain chances later this week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Seneca police are trying to identify a man involved in an armed robbery Saturday night. A male entered Darla's liquor store on the state line. He brandished a firearm and demanded money. After taking the money, he assaulted the store clerk, hitting him. The suspect then fled and attempts to locate him were not successful. The clerk was treated at a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Seneca police are seeking assistance to ID the suspect. Anyone with information is encouraged to reach out. A Sarcoxy man is dead following a fatal crash near a villa in Jasper County Saturday morning. The crash occurred in the near 116 Liberty Road about 7:30 Saturday morning. Jasper County deputies, Villa Fire and Mercy Ambulance responded. A pickup traveling east struck a concrete culvert. Mike Wilkerson of Sarcoxy was the single occupant. He was not wearing a seatbelt, according to a preliminary crash report. He was pronounced dead at the scene. In Carthage, firefighters were alerted to a head-on crash near Baker Boulevard on West 52nd Street around noon Sunday. An SUV and Camaro had collided at highway speeds at the crest of a hill. All 3 people involved in the crash would seek medical care, one suffering serious injuries. Missouri State Highway Patrol tells KOAM on the scene of the crash. The crash occurred as the black SUV crossed the center line. They say the driver was distracted looking at the vehicle's dashboard maps navigation screen. Traffic was diverted along West 52nd for a little over an hour. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. With the bird flu currently impacting parts of the nation, affecting more than an estimated 130 million birds. Local restaurant owners say the price of eggs is on the rise. However, business owners say they are taking measures to keep their prices at bay. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has the story.
Egg has jumped $30 from December.
Ismo Ringel is the owner of Panacea Cafe in Joplin. She has several items on her menu that require one main ingredient, eggs.
Most of our items will have to have some egg at some point because like the fillings, everything, if we have to seal them together.
Ismo Balazi is the owner of Farmhouse Cafe in Frontenac. He says he also is feeling the pain of rising egg prices.
These they went up to $65 a case versus $19 a case. So that's like 3 times the price.
But how do Ringel and Balazi handle the increased egg prices without giving that increase to customers?
Hey, if it's slow day, you can go home early.
We depend on local customers. You know, we can't just go up on price, just raise the eggs because there's like 200 items in my menu.
The co-owner of Toast, Heather Horton, says she solves this problem by buying her eggs locally.
From the Radley Dirt Patch, and then we also use Fat Bottom Grill Farms. The egg shortages and the prices hiking, that doesn't affect us as much.
Ringel says her workers are like family to her. She helps them no matter where they are.
Help them out too because we can't just chop out all the hours and, you know, expect them to be okay out there.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, Horton goes on to say, in her opinion, the more you buy locally, the better. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Kansas City Chiefs play the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship game. We'll have the details. Plus, India celebrates Republic Day with lots of eye-popping entertainment. And we have a nice and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Seneca police are trying to identify a man involved in an armed robbery at Darla's Liquor Saturday night. The man
on our end. Okay, now we're in business. Apologize about that. Well, it's all right though, because we're just sharing the same good news you've probably already heard. Kansas City is going to meet Buffalo again, this time in a trip to the Super Bowl 59. It's on the line as they play in their 7th straight AFC Championship game. Chiefs versus Bills for the AFC Championship.
crash near Baker Boulevard on West 52nd around noon Sunday.
3-0 when playing the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. We're going to start in the first quarter. Kareem Hunt getting the handoff, and he rolls his way to the end zone. Chiefs strike first. Kansas City leading 7-0. In the second quarter, Bills lead 10-7. Mahomes throws to the rookie Xavier Worthy, and he drives across for a touchdown. Kansas City regains the lead. Chiefs up 14-10. The Taylor Swift effect might be a real thing with 2 minutes left before the half. Same score here. Mahomes rolls out to his right. He takes the hip check at the goal line, and the Chiefs are up by 2 scores. KC leads 21-10. But you know, the Buffalo Bills will make this a dogfight. Josh Allen takes a shot to the end zone, and Mac Hollins comes down with an amazing catch, one-handed, touchdown Bills. And they go to the locker room with momentum. Go to the second half. It's 4th down. Josh Allen tosses to James Cook in the option play, and Cook makes an unbelievable dive across the goal line. Buffalo scores a touchdown to take a 22-21 lead. In the fourth quarter, Mahomes keeps it himself. Look at the block by Kelsey. Mahomes scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. Chiefs now lead 29-22, but nothing is ever easy when playing the Bills. Buffalo is going to march back down the field, and Allen will connect with Curtis Samuel, and he keeps his feet in bounds. That touchdown ties the game, so that's back to 29-29. The Chiefs would kick a field goal on their next drive, so Kansas City leading 32-29. Bills have the ball on the 4th down. Josh Allen throws it up for grabs, and Dalton Kincaid can't make the catch. It's incomplete. And Kansas City Chiefs are...
How about those? That's what I'm talking about, baby. It still comes down to the game and the purity of the game and really each play and how you handle it. And so you don't get yourself too far out of that box, and you just concentrate on the opponent and what you got to get done against them.
Never satisfied, baby. When you play in front of Arrowhead Stadium like this, every single AFC championship, you kidding me? Kansas City! Hey, before you guys get out of here, just do a little dance, make a little love. Yeah, get down tonight.
Earlier on Sunday, the NFC Championship game taking place in Philadelphia. Eagles facing their division rival, the Washington Commanders. First play of the game for the Eagles offense. Saquon Barkley, just an unstoppable force of nature. He takes it 60 yards for the touchdown. And just like that, Philly leads 7-3. So we go to the next Eagles possession. Jalen Hurts going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley. And he finds the end zone for the second time. 2 carries and 2 touchdowns for Barkley. Eagles leading 14-3. Philadelphia leads 20-12 just before the half. Jalen Hurts throws to A.J. Brown, and he catches it for the touchdown. Philadelphia starting to feel it. And in the second half, Eagles leading 27-15. Jalen Hurts is going to call his own number on a designed QB run, and he scores the touchdown to extend the Philly lead. The Eagles go on to win the NFC Championship game. Philadelphia beat Washington 55-23. Set. The Kansas City Chiefs will face Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl less than 2 weeks from today. Chiefs meet the Eagles in the Super Bowl for the second time in the past 3 years. Kickoff set for 5:30 on February 9th. You can watch that game on Fox 14. In the KC playing the Portland Trail Blazers. First quarter, Jalen Williams gets the steal and throws it across the court to SGA, and he slams the dunk. Thunder up by 1. Second quarter, Jalen Williams making the mid-range jumper. That one is good. Williams finished the night with 24 points. Closing minutes of the first half, Cason Wallace is going to take it coast to coast. That's a big-time slam. Oklahoma City leading by 10. So we move to the second half. SGA takes it inside the paint. Count the bucket plus the foul. Thunder now leading by 11. But SGA wasn't done there. A little later in the third, he's going to attack the basket again. And there's another layup. And then in the fourth quarter, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander adding to his point total. 35 points for SGA. Oklahoma City wins 118-108 over Portland. Still to come, a new poll shows that adults have concerns about the health effects of moderate drinking. Plus, it's cold right now, but I assure you it will actually improve. Details on that improvement when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 5:18 now on this Monday morning, and we're going to start with the future track into this afternoon. We'll have some gusty west winds, nothing too crazy, but occasionally reaching about 20 miles an hour. And you can see most of us already into the low 40s. Now, future track thinks some of us are going to get a little warmer. I think we're going to really cap out across most of the area around the mid 40s, but some upper 40s, close to 50, absolutely possible. With all that sunshine and, of course, those west winds and eventually southwest winds overnight, it's definitely going to get a little bit warmer today, and if today isn't warm enough for you, we're going to have a good opportunity to thaw out over the next couple of days. So tomorrow morning, yeah, we're still starting cold, but we'll be a little warmer to start the day, upper 20s, low 30s. The only thing is that southwest wind, at least overnight, will increase a bit, gusting around 25. It eases back to gusting around 20 as we head through tomorrow, but take a look at noon tomorrow. Now we're talking more upper 40s, right around 50 by noon on our Tuesday. And as we head into the afternoon, that of course means we're going to be warmer. And as you also see, not a cloud out there on the future track. We are looking at clear skies and just absolutely beautiful conditions, maybe a high cloud here or there. And we get into our Wednesday. So now Wednesday, take a look at where we're starting the day. Now we're into the mid upper 30s to start our Wednesday morning. We'll have a few clouds. We're going to start to see partly cloudy skies. Could see a stray shower or two late Wednesday evening into the overnight hours, and then I'll be ahead of some additional rain chances as we head into Thursday and Friday. Let's take a look at those temperatures though as we go outside. It is 17 right now, so that's why getting into the 30s to start the day. In a couple of days, it's going to feel great. But the winds are calm, which is helpful. It means no wind chill. Doesn't feel any colder than what it already is. Across the region, teens are where the majority of us are sitting, mid to upper teens. We do have 20 in Monette, 21 Cassville and Bentonville, but otherwise a pretty darn cold start to the day. As we head through the morning hours, again, clear skies out there, low 20s to start. But we warm up, sunshine, good winds, warm air. We're going to make into the upper 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, that is ahead of our highs, eventually reaching on average about the mid 40s. Some of us a little cooler, some of us a little warmer. And we'll have those west winds 10 to 15 and occasionally gusting upwards of 20. So we head into tonight. Through the evening hours, clear skies continue. Gradual fall back through the 30s and right about 30. So again, some a little warmer, some a little cooler, but about 30 out there. Clear skies, southwest winds now 5 to 10, but those gusts increasing just a bit, reaching about 25 miles an hour. The winds come back down again. Southwest tomorrow gusting to 20, mid 50s. Upper 50s, low 50s. Here come those rain chances by late Wednesday into Thursday and Friday. Then we head into the weekend, a little cooler on Saturday, not too bad. Warmer on Sunday, and then more rain chances next week. Let's check your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, a new poll shows there is a growing public concern about the health effects of moderate drinking. The poll found half of U.S. adults say moderate drinking is bad for one's health. Now, that's more than double the amount of people who had that opinion 2 decades ago. Alcohol has been linked to cancer, but research has also found moderate drinking may have potential health benefits. For example, moderate drinkers may have a lower risk of heart attack and non-fatal stroke. This year, officials will use 2 recent reports on those findings to review dietary guidelines on alcohol consumption. Current guidelines say men should limit daily alcohol intake to 2 drinks or less, and women should have 1 drink or less. Well, there may soon be an improved way to determine obesity. The medical world has long used body mass index to determine weight-related health problems for patients. A BMI comes from calculating a person's height and weight, and a person with a rating of 30 or more is considered obese. But in a study published in a Lancet medical journal, officials say a better way to define obesity is to focus on waist circumference and how excess body fat affects the body. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 100 million Americans are obese and more than 22 million are severely obese. And the Trump administration has withdrawn a proposed rule that would ban menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. That's according to a regulatory docket. A menthol ban had been a top priority for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration when former President Joe Biden was in office. It was expected to happen in 2023 after the FDA sent the final version of its rule banning the products to the White House. However, the Biden administration never gave the ban the green light amid lobbying from stakeholder groups. Last April, a coalition of civil rights groups and medical organizations sued the FDA for missing its own deadline to ban menthol. The groups said the lawsuit is still ongoing. Well, it's a synthetic dye that will no longer be allowed in food, beverages, and medicines. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration banned the use of red dye 3. However, manufacturers have about 2 years to remove the dye from foods, but experts say you don't have to wait to eliminate this substance from your diet. Mandy Gaither talks to a dietitian about how to avoid red dye number 3 even before its total ban begins.
It can be found in candy, cakes, even some medicines. Red dye number 3 is all around us, but experts say it may be harmful to our health.
The recent ban was really initiated due to the fact that studies have shown cancer growth in animals.
Last week, the FDA revoked the authorization for use of red dye number 3 in foods, beverages, and ingested medicines. But the agency is giving food manufacturers until January 2027 and pharmaceutical companies until January 2028 to reformulate their products. But you don't have to wait until then to slash the substance from your diet, says registered dietitian Julia Zumpano with Cleveland Clinic.
be very diligent about reading those ingredient labels, because the dyes can be kind of hidden in there. So you really have to scan those ingredients to make sure that that's not listed.
Zumpano recommends avoiding all synthetic dyes, not just Red 3. Since the dyes are added during processing, she says to eat whole foods instead. She also says to watch out for beverages because dyes can hide there too. Finally, use an alternative like fruit or vegetable extracts that can be used to color foods for a special occasion.
None of these food dyes are necessary. They're not healthy. They do not provide any nutrition. So there's no harm in eliminating them. You're only creating more health benefits.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Red dye number 3 is also listed as Red 3 and FD&C Red number 3 on nutrition labels. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got that cold start out there for us today, but again, it will start to warm up, and warmer weather will continue over the next couple of days. Details when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, community members come together to help each other grow with a seed swap.
And we've got a cold start to the day, but worry not, it will be a little warmer this afternoon. How much warmer? We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Carthage Humane Society offers pet owners the chance to access services at a discounted rate.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Monday. It's January the 27th. We're almost into February.
Yes.
Of course, Super Bowl not that far away. I know a lot of folks are already excited about that.
Once again, the Chiefs
yeah.
and the Super Bowl, of course, right?
Yeah. Well, would we have it any other way?
No.
No, we wouldn't.
No, I don't think
so. Depending on how things go, I mean, there's different, football video games and stuff. I've got one on my phone. It's an older little game. It's lots of fun. I'm the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have gone to the Super Bowl for the last 60 years in a row, okay?
Oh, wow.
Because we play really well in the game. So you never know what could happen. But ahead of that, we got to get through today. Yeah. We're not there yet. We're not quite to that hangover point yet, and we got to go to work. We got to go to school. We got to do whatever it is we got to do.
Yes.
And it's going to be a bit cold as you head out the door this morning. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear. Again, the camera doesn't tell you that it's cold, but I can assure you, if you have not been outside, it's cold. And how do I know for sure? Well, I've actually been outside myself. 7th and Range Line, our camera there looking fairly good as well. And we'll head down to the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Also good. Roads are clear. And believe it or not, there's still some snow piles here and there. There's even a snow pile in our parking lot here at the station. That should eventually start to go away because it's going to start to really warm up. KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh also looking pretty good this morning. On to the future track we go. By noon already hanging out. Most of us into the low 40s. We'll have a gusty west wind out there. And eventually we'll make the mid 40s. Future tracks got our temperatures up a little more. We might get that lucky. Make some upper 40s out there. But otherwise not a bad day. And did you see anything else? I didn't either. No clouds, no rain. We're dry and we're sunny, which will also help with that warming up. 17 in Joplin right now, 18 in Pittsburgh. That's why we really need to warm up. That's why we need that sunshine, because that is unacceptably cold. And temperatures around the region, all of us, unacceptably cold this morning. We've got mid-upper teens. Are starting to see a few more 20s. So now we got Nevada, Stockton at 20. Monette, Cassville been in the 20s, as well as Bentonville through the morning, so slightly warmer. Kids getting on the bus this morning, absolutely want that jacket. We're looking about the upper teens, low 20s, sunny skies, calm winds, which I'm thankful we have calm winds now because it'd feel even worse than it does. And then we up to mid 40s when that bus brings them home. West winds 10 to 15, occasionally gusting to 20. And that's where we're headed. Mid 40s today, maybe even some upper 40s here and there with plentiful sunshine. It's still going to be breezy tonight. It's going to be much warmer over the next couple of days, and some rain moves in. Details on all of that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Paw Prints on the Heartland held its 25th anniversary celebration Sunday in Pittsburgh. The organization started out in an RV doing spay and neuter clinics all across southeast Kansas until they needed a permanent location. Now their operation has expanded to a cat adoption center as well, and they hope to get a van again to return to their roots while still having their permanent location.
There's such a problem with animals not being fixed, and as you well know, anybody that lives around Pittsburgh, we've got cats and dogs everywhere. And I think to date, in the 25 years, there has been 93,000 spay and neuter in the last 25 years.
One of Paw Print's fundraisers this year includes a drawing for a trip to Branson. And the Carthage Humane Society offered low-cost services for the community as part of their Love Your Pet Day fundraiser. Love Your Pet Day is just one way for the Carthage Humane Society to share the love with the community and their four-legged family members.
Today we're bundling it, so if you get a nail clip, you get their microchip, and we're giving them a little paw print of their animal that's a clay form. It's bundled for $30. So you're not going to find that anywhere else, and I think that's something that's very important, a peace of mind for them to be able to affordably do something.
Many of the dogs and cats in Carthage Humane Society's care are sponsored for adoption, meaning adoption fees on some animals can be as low as $0. Well, Joplin residents got a chance to swap books Saturday at the Joplin Avenue Coffee Company. The event was a partnership between the coffee company and the Joplin Public Library. Now, the swap gives residents a chance to exchange books that they no longer want for ones that they do. It also gives residents a chance to socialize and meet others who may share similar interests in certain genres with them.
It's really interesting to see what books people bring in, what everyone's reading. It's also great to just see the interaction with people that maybe didn't know each other before they came in here, and then they're just sharing and swapping books.
The next book swap is going to be at the Joplin Public Library on February 22nd. And Saturday was National Seed Swap Day, and Empire Market has partnered with Shirt Glades and Ozark Gateway to host their own seed swap. Attendees were allowed to bring their own seeds and ask questions of the master naturalists on their plants. Now they were also showcasing how the market's community garden impacts the community.
A lot of people want to preserve certain species like heirlooms and stuff, and oftentimes if you get into saving your own seeds, you have a whole lot and you're like, I can't grow all these. So you can kind of exchange them with different people. Our goal with our native seeds is that we really want to encourage people to grow native plants. And so a lot of us have our own native plant gardens and figure, anything we can do to give people seeds for free will help them start their native garden.
Attendees did not have to bring seeds in order to participate. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The CIA believes it was likely that the COVID-19 pandemic was caused by a lab leak. Plus, Hamas has released 4 more hostages. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch, India marks its Republic Day Sunday with lots of eye-popping entertainment. India's big day to commemorate the adoption of its constitution in 1950 as a republic featured lots of stuntman pizzazz, like this pyramid of Indian Army soldiers moving in a solitary formation. Army cycle riders also performed other nifty stunt tricks as well. A camel parade made up of India's border security force contingent. There were nature floats like this cheetah float and an earth sciences float with a typhoon-like event. Indonesia's president joined India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and others to honor its celebration. While the Northern Hemisphere deals with a harsh winter, people in one Southern American city look for a place to escape extreme heat. Right now, nightlife in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil is all about staying cool in 104-degree temps. And resident solutions to the heat is to head to a Prador beach at night to avoid the hot sands and sun a scorching daytime. Locals say it's too hot to sleep at home, so they come to the beach for sleep and nighttime swims. Rio de Janeiro has had a 3 out of 5 heat level index for 3 days. The CIA announces the COVID-19 pandemic was likely caused by a lab leak. The agency releasing an assessment on the origins of the pandemic just days after its new director, John Radcliffe, was sworn in. The review was ordered by former President Biden's national security advisor near the end of Biden's term. The CIA has said for years it did not have enough intelligence to determine if COVID came from a wet market in Wuhan, China, or in a lab. The report says the agency will continue to assess both scenarios. Radcliffe has long been in favor of the lab leak theory. The Israeli-Hamas ceasefire continues to hold, with Hamas releasing 4 additional hostages in exchange for the release of 200 Palestinian prisoners. Mike Tobin has the story.
Surrounded by a massive crowd in Gaza City, Hamas released 4 female Israeli soldiers taken hostage during the October 7th attack more than a year ago. The women, the youngest who was 19, were handed over to the Red Cross, who delivered them safely to IDF forces. Emotional reunions with their families took place at a reunification center along the Gaza border. The women, along with a 5th female soldier not released today, were taken from a military base near the border where Hamas killed more than 4 dozen Israeli soldiers.
I love you all, the people of Israel, who supported our families and embraced them, and all the IDF soldiers that did everything for us. Thank you very much. I love you.
In exchange for their release, Israel freed 200 Palestinian prisoners, including 120 militants serving life sentences for deadly attacks against Israelis. Crowds of cheering Palestinians packed Ramallah in the West Bank to welcome some of the prisoners home. Around 70 of those released were sent to Egypt after being banned from returning to Palestinian territory. This exchange is the second to take place since a fragile ceasefire took effect last weekend, ending the fight in Gaza for at least 6 weeks.
We are gravely concerned over those in power who are actively seeking to sabotage the remainder of this life-saving deal.
While many celebrated the day, others worried about what may happen when these 6 weeks are over and not all of the hostages are released.
Our mission is not over until every single hostage comes home.
Talks for phase 2 of the ceasefire, which involves a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, are set to start in February.
And that's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Hold up, there we go. This is the second time this morning. You take a couple of days and you forget what you're doing. Maybe I need to take a 3rd or 4th day. I'm not really sure. All right, future track today. Here we are. By the way, it's 5:46. It's still Monday. We've got temperatures already in the low 40s, sunny skies, and really the only thing you're going to see on the future track outside of temperatures is the winds. It's going to be a bit gusty today, occasionally reaching about 20 miles an hour or so out of the west. Now, as we go overnight, those winds shift out of the southwest. They'll start to occasionally gust upwards of 25, so it will feel colder tonight. But we're going to be starting tomorrow better where we are now by about 10 to 15 degrees, depending on where you are. We'll be into the upper 20s and low 30s about 24 hours from now, so a little bit warmer. Still cold, but warmer. However, the warmer it is in the morning, the better chances typically we have of it being warmer by the afternoon. And that is exactly what we're going to see by tomorrow at noon. These temperatures now already upper 40s, right around 50. We'll still have those southwest winds. They'll be gusting about 20. So overnight they pick up a bit. By the afternoon they ease up a bit, but still a bit gusty. But as you can see, still plentiful sunshine as well. Now by late Tuesday, maybe a cloud or two. You see some high cirrus clouds out there. But as we head into Wednesday, clouds start to thicken up just a bit more. But we're starting Wednesday even warmer, into the mid-30s, even some upper 30s by 5 o'clock Wednesday morning. And we're going to start to go partly cloudy, and eventually we'll start to go mostly cloudy later in the day on Wednesday. As we go overnight Wednesday into Thursday, it's when we start seeing opportunities for some scattered showers out there. So at this point, nothing significant in terms of, thunderstorms or anything like that, but rain chances will begin to increase from Wednesday night into our Thursday, and temperatures will remain quite mild as well. We're at 17 in Joplin right now. The skies are clear. And again, some good news, at least for the morning. Winds have been calm, and that is good because when it's 17, it doesn't need to feel any colder. It doesn't need any help feeling any colder. So calm winds are a great way to be. Temperatures across the area, most of us mid-upper teens. We're starting to see a few more 20s out there. So again, Nevada, Stockton, Monette, Cassville, and Bentonville, all a pinch warmer, but otherwise still a pretty cold start to the day. We're going to have clear skies out there, low 20s to start the day. upper 30s by 11 a.m. Of course, those gusty winds out of the west. Otherwise sunny and right around the mid 40s for our highs today. Some of us a little warmer, some of us a little cooler. You know how it is. We have broad coverage areas, so these lows and everything we punch in here, they're averages. That's not everybody is going to see that. That would be kind of wild to see the entire region hit the same temperature. But most of us, right about 30 tonight. Clear skies, breezy, southwest winds gusting 25. Clear again tomorrow. A few clouds late day. Partly cloudy Wednesday, upper 50s, maybe even a couple of low 60s by Wednesday. Rain chances Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday. A little cooler on Saturday, warmer again on Sunday, and more rain as we head into next week. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, a massive moose fallen through thin ice presented rescuers with a very unique problem, but a clever tactic essentially let the burly beast save itself. Jeremy Roth shows us how they did it in today's Take a Look at This.
Watch rescue crews use some extra brain juice to cut loose an ice-trapped moose in a very clever way. The large animal had fallen through the ice on this frozen lake in upstate New York when wildlife officials were called. They responded and immediately had to think outside the box.
Guess there's no training manual for getting moose out of the ice.
Unsure the thin ice would support the massive animal, the crews came up with an ingenious approach, using chainsaws to cut a curved channel to lead the burly beast to thicker ice, and then used their small sleds to get the moose to vamoose. It takes a lot of guts to approach and engage a frightened 1,000-pound animal, so finding a safe and effective way for it to essentially save itself, that's using the old noodle. Speaking of which, a clever Minnesotan used some noodles to show just how flippin' cold it is these days, as if we didn't know. Using the permed-looking pasta as a prop, Bill Doms of Montrose shows how easy the dish froze amid what he reported was a negative 21 degrees in his neck of the woods. Finally, from using your noodles to protecting your noggin. If you have a bunch of dough, you can do just that in signature Corinthian style, as this genuine ancient Greek warrior helmet is soon set for auction. Think 300, although it's not going to make your abs look like that. It's not a magic helmet, people. Interested parties should seek Maximus Credit Limitus, though. Apollo Auctions expects the 2,500-year-old helmet to fetch as much as $111,000, which may have brave bidders bellowing, "This is pricey!" They'll still get a kick out of it, though. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Pretty cool. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, some iPhone sellers could make a killing if you're dying on the inside without your TikTok. eBay, the popular buy and sell online website, is showing iPhones for sale with the TikTok app already installed for really big bucks. And it could be a lifeline for media consumers going through TikTok withdrawal. Well, prices have ranged from the hundreds into the low to mid thousands and as high as $25,000 to $30,000. Many TikTokers deleted the app when it went dark on January 18th due to a federal law passed banning it over links to the Chinese government. And now they can't get it back from Apple and Google Play stores because of the illegal app download ban. Now, for the young and always hungry, need a squeeze of cheese to fill your crave. Velveeta's ahead of the pack now with Velveeta Packets. The Kraft Heinz company, makers of that magic yellow and red box full of Velveeta cheese, says it's come out with Vel to Go, the first 1.1 ounce single serve offering of Velveeta cheese. Kraft Heinz says it's made Vel to Go just for millennials and Gen Zers because a study done by NC Solutions says 1 in 4 millennials and Gen Zers bring their own condiments to meals to enhance them.
That's interesting. You know, I don't do that. I'm not a big fan of condiments, though.
Okay.
In general, like I'll put ketchup, mustard on things.
Velveeta a condiment.
I don't either. That's cheese. Like that's not a condiment. That's a topping. I feel like that's different.
It is.
Maybe, but I don't. That's interesting. But now you see, folks need TikTok so they can help this product grow, so they can TikTok themselves. I don't know, putting cheese on the dog or whatever. This is why I don't do social media that much anymore. I'm just getting too old for it. All right, I don't put cheese on the dog. I don't make videos about putting cheese on dogs, and I mean an actual dog, not a hot dog. All right, hot dog. Maybe a good idea today, though, because it's still going to be a bit chilly, and it'll serve a chili dog. Haha. You can use the Vel to go on that. There you go. You can have a chili cheese dog. Low 20s to start, upper 30s by 11 a.m. Sunny skies, west winds occasionally gusting to 20. We'll have, again, clear skies through the afternoon, just a bit breezy, mid-upper 40s out there. Clear skies continuing through the evening, about 30 tonight, and we'll have those southwest winds gusting about 25. Warmer tomorrow, still breezy though, mid-50s, upper 50s Wednesday, partly cloudy, and then some evening rain, late night rain into Thursday and Friday, a little cooler on Saturday, warmer next Sunday. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM morning news and more cheese right after this.